Y'all see Gene, I'm telling y'all, man, somebody better punch him in the face. Somebody better do something to him, man. He out here doing this, that, and we be like, all right.
Thank you, Roger Bonds, for putting it out there. It came to life for y'all. It came to life for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube. What he look like telling somebody to whoop my ass? He didn't tell him that. He wanted me in the dirt and was trying to rock me to sleep.
Gene Deal has been speaking out publicly through interviews, podcasts, and live streams, revealing disturbing stories about Diddy and the hidden side of the bad boy era that many people were never meant to hear. But with every new allegation, Gene admits he's been extremely careful, aware of the influence and power Diddy still holds and fearful of what could happen to those who speak against him. Those fears gained even more weight after Roger Bonds, Diddy's former head of security, revealed that he was once instructed to target people who crossed Diddy. His statement doesn't just support Gene Deal's claims, it paints a much darker picture of intimidation and silence behind the scenes. According to those close to the situation, Gene isn't trying to create drama. He's simply sharing what he witnessed during his years around Bad Boy. Still, many now believe those revelations could put him in serious danger.
I've been seeing this a lot online. How you feel about the people that say that you should be worried if Diddy get out?
What needs something to say, bro? I'm not gonna worry about somebody that I bodyguard. I'm not gonna worry about somebody that I bodyguard. And God knows I can bodyguard myself with his blessings. I can bodyguard myself with his blessings, bro. I'm not worried about that. Nothing beats an ambush, and I know that. But I'm not worried about his shit. People just need to talk about something. They want to have something to say, man. Oh, Gene got to be worried, so like that. So, shouldn't I have been worried when he was out here on the street? When he was out here on the street, I should have been worried. Yo, bro, August the 14th, 1999, high-speed chase in Harlem. You understand? How I didn't know that he didn't send nobody after me then. Because niggas do that shit. They'll send somebody at you. I've seen dudes that do shit and they have niggas right there in the same clique and they didn't even know he did it. So how I know those 4 guys, 5 guns to my head wasn't sitting by him. When Roger Bonds come and say later that Diddy wanted something done to Gene Deal. How I know? That shit made the news.
What's unfolding here goes far beyond rumors or internet drama. At the center of it all is Diddy's crumbling empire, mounting legal pressure, and a growing number of former insiders stepping forward with stories he allegedly never wanted exposed. The deeper the situation gets, the more unsettling it becomes. Roger Bonds is not just another online commentator. He spent nearly a decade, from 2003 to 2012, serving as Diddy's head of security. He was responsible for protecting him everywhere, from packed nightclubs to major award shows and private backstage moments. In that role, Bonds witnessed far more than the public ever saw. According to him, he observed the power dynamics, the fear, and the alleged intimidation tactics used behind closed doors. Eventually, the environment became too much, leading him to walk away. In recent years, Bonds has spoken more openly about his experiences, and many people take his words seriously because they come from first-hand involvement, not second-hand gossip or speculation.
So let me ask you a question. How long before you started working with him did you start to see like red flags and did you know like, damn, this is kind of crazy? Was it like immediate or was it like he gained your trust and you started vibing and you started seeing shit? Was it like off the rip you knew like, hey, something up with him?
Then there's Gene Deal, another key figure whose name has become impossible to ignore in this unfolding story. Gene wasn't an outsider looking in. He was deeply embedded in the bad boy world during its peak years, when Diddy was building the careers of major hip-hop stars like the Notorious Big, Mace, and other artists who helped define an era. As a former bodyguard, Gene operated behind the scenes in the spaces the public never saw, outside VIP rooms, backstage at sold-out concerts, and in hotel hallways where major decisions were made and private conversations stayed hidden from view. After leaving Bad Boy, Gene began speaking openly about what life inside that world was allegedly really like once the fame and glamour were stripped away. What makes his claims even more significant is that Roger Bonds, who later stepped into a similar role, has publicly supported parts of Gene's account with stories from his own experience. The overlap between their testimonies has led many people to view Gene's warnings as more credible than ever.
Man, listen here. I want to let this young lady know, and I know this is not the place for it, brother, but please allow me to say this to her, man. You know what I'm saying? I started this battle long time ago. And the situation is that, bruh, we already won. This was some spiritual that Pop, the spirit of Pop, the spirit of Big, the spirit of Miss Jones, the spirit of Wolf, all the people that he has done wrong, you know, so Black, all the people that he has done wrong, bruh, is coming to light. We already won this spiritual. What we going through right now with these trials and everybody, you know, with this financial situation and everything like that, all that is superficial. That's the physical part of it. The spiritual part of it was won because Big, Pac, Wolf Mother, all the people that he did wrong, bruh, you understand? They already won the battle where we were supposed to win it at. So now we just going through the physical part of it, man. And I want that girl to know, man, that she ain't got to fear no man. She ain't got to fear him, nobody else, man. Whenever she needs, you understand? Whenever she needs somebody to travel, to go with her, to make sure she all right, you know, I'm a phone call away, man. I'm a phone call away. And you know, go ahead with your questioning, man. I just had to get that out, man. Because that girl touched a lot of people, man. Because all she wanted to do was write music, make music, and show her talent and her love to the people, man. And then she got to feel this way, be fearful and scared of her life and stuff like that. Ma, I ain't scared of no man. You understand? I ain't scared of no man. Nobody that got to put their pants on the same way I do. Not at all.
And for the people that don't know who Tiffany Red is, that's Cassie's best friend.
That's one of Cassie's friends. She was writing a lot of music, and she said that she was writing music for her friends to get. Oh my God, man, come on.
What separates Roger Bonds from Gene Deal is the way they choose to speak about their experiences. Roger often comes across as calm, calculated, and cautious, carefully weighing every word before sharing it publicly. Gene, on the other hand, delivers his stories with raw emotion and intensity, sounding less like someone reading a prepared statement and more like a man finally unloading years of bottled-up frustration and truth. That unfiltered style is one reason his interviews continue to spread across social media and attract so much attention, but it also makes him impossible to ignore. According to many observers, speaking with that level of passion and openness places an even bigger spotlight on him, especially when the allegations involve someone as powerful and influential as Diddy. In a world where image and control are everything, a former insider speaking this boldly can quickly be viewed as a serious threat.
Man, you know, a leopard don't change his spots, and Diddy been doing this real long time, bro. He been doing this for a long time. And now another artist, this artist didn't wait 10 years. You know what I'm saying? He didn't wait 20 years. You understand? He waited a year or two after he stopped working with him and saw he didn't get what he was supposed to get. And he said, yo, listen here, man. I'm putting in my claims right now because I'm going to show everybody what really happened, what really went down. It's crazy. When I was reading I read the whole thing. Shout out to Keisha in Kansas City. she sent me the whole documentation, bro. And you know, the whole court thing. And when I'm reading the stuff, you know, it sound from a lot of it sound familiar. You understand? And what I mean sound familiar, how he would get other girls and get girls to try to, you know, convince this guy, you know, or put him in a situation with other girls so he could do whatever he wanted to do with them. And it's just like the situation somewhat with Sarah and her girlfriend and him and Ja. You know what I'm saying? Bringing girls on to try to convince this other guy to be in a room with another naked man and all this other bull. Yo, it all sound familiar, man. I read the whole thing, man, and it was crazy.
And for the people that don't know what you're talking about, because the lawsuit is new, so, you know, some people still catching up with it. Little Rod, he alleges that, you know, Young Miami cousin tried to have him in front of Diddy.
Yeah, he went into the bathroom, and then she came into the bathroom and tried to, you know, throw herself on him. He didn't want to have nothing to do with her for whatever reason. And then when he came out the bathroom, she continued to try to do that and try to have, wanted him to have on Diddy and the rest of the people that was in there. You know, that's how they do, man. They try to use a girl that you might like or you may think you might like, or they think you might like her or whatever, to convince you to lay down your guards with them. And he didn't.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And you're not surprised by none of this, because you said that Ja Rule, they did this to him, right?
No, remember, and people got it confused when I said that Ja and him was in the room with two girls, with Sarah and Sarah's girlfriend. You understand? He was trying to get Ja to go at Jay-Z. So what he did was try to get another girl, you understand, to do something with Ja. I guess, I don't know, they in the room together. So when they, in that thing, I know what he was planning on doing because I heard the conversation.
During a recent podcast appearance, Roger Bonds made a startling allegation that intensified the growing controversy surrounding Diddy and his former associates. Bonds claimed that Diddy once ordered him and others to physically confront Gene Deal and fellow Bad Boy insider Mark Curry after they publicly criticized him in the late 2000s. According to Bonds, these were not rumors or secondhand stories, but direct instructions that he says he ultimately refused to fully carry out. The accusation paints a disturbing picture of retaliation allegedly aimed at former insiders who chose to speak out. For many listeners, the claim suggested more than personal conflict. It hinted at a broader pattern of intimidation and control. That is why Bonds' recent warning to Gene Deal has resonated so strongly. Supporters believe Bonds was not simply revisiting old drama, but cautioning Gene based on behavior he claims to have witnessed firsthand. In the eyes of many observers, the warning carried the weight of someone who believes history could repeat itself, especially as Diddy faces mounting legal and public pressure.
As it's getting worse, you getting older. So as you getting older, you getting wiser. And you understand, okay, this stop. You know what I'm saying? None of this stop because there's nobody there to stop it. And this person is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. So if you becoming stronger and stronger and stronger, what's there to make you stop? You know what I'm saying? Like what I feel like what he's going through now, that's enough to make you stop. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't never went through this and everything you going through gets swept under the rug, it ain't no reason for you to stop. Bonds ain't gonna make me stop. Bonds is just another security dude. Now I see that. You know what I'm saying? But when you live in it and you going through it, that person knows how to make you feel like, yo, you ain't gonna never gotta worry about nothing because this is what they telling you. This is what you seeing. So each and every day, I'm not gonna lie, you hope that that person wakes up the next morning and a red light went off in their head. Say, yo, I gotta treat better. Or I got to treat a person better, or I got to do this. So that's what you're hoping. And then you get to the point where you say, yeah, nah, make a change. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So one of the main things that happened was I got diabetes, right? I was in Spain somewhere, and I kept going to the bathroom like every 10 or 15 minutes. And I'm like, what keep going to the bathroom for? Somebody said, yo, you know, if you go to the bathroom a lot, you get diabetes. Because you got to remember, we was traveling and moving so much. There was places that we would be at that you wouldn't even drink the water. You know what I'm saying? Or they say, yo, if you from the United States, the water gonna make you sick.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
been to Mexico a few times and got sick as hell off that water.
Oh, for the water.
Yeah,
So you end up drinking sodas and juices all day long. So that's one of the things that happened. So I looked at it as like, that was like one of the ways that God got me out my situation.
Gene Deal responded with something many people didn't expect: genuine fear. In a recent interview, he openly admitted that he feels unsafe and believes the threats against him are real. According to Gene, the situation has reached a point where he feels he needs protection and can no longer move around comfortably without constantly watching his surroundings. For many viewers, that admission carried serious weight. This is someone who once spent years protecting one of the most influential figures in the music industry, yet now he says he fears for his own safety. That dramatic reversal highlights just how intense and unsettling the situation surrounding these allegations has become.
Drinking and start popping and passing it to dudes around them. I left from the area and got my own table. You not rocking me to sleep. You never rocked me to sleep. Though I worked for you, you wasn't doing no dirt. That's why my days was with you when you had your kids. Because you knew you couldn't do that dirty to me. And that's a good judgment on your behalf. Roger Barnes got on that show and said, he said, yo, we seen Gene plenty of times. But we knew Puff was a and we had to live in Harlem. That's because we know the same people. When Roger Barnes talk to people about me, they're gonna say Gene a stand-up dude. Gene was all right, bro.
Gene Deal has also described incidents that, in his view, suggest he may already be under pressure or being deliberately provoked. In one recent account, he recalled an altercation outside a courthouse involving a YouTuber who allegedly continued taunting and confronting him until the situation escalated physically. Gene claimed he ultimately knocked the man unconscious, but he insists the encounter felt bigger than a simple argument. According to him, it seemed like an attempt to provoke him emotionally and push him into reacting publicly while tensions around him were already high. Whether those suspicions are accurate or not, his mindset reflects the level of fear and stress he says he's been living under. For someone who believes powerful people may be watching or targeting him, even ordinary confrontations can begin to feel threatening and deeply personal.
Because I was starting to get sick in the situation. Like I was starting to wake up in the morning, damn, B, I'm still here. Even though I'm in an exotic country or I'm in an exotic place, I'm like, damn, I'm still here. Because the energy was off. You know what I'm saying? Everything that was going on around you was off. And you were expected just to stand there and do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's acquired of you. You know what I mean? So, you know, that was one of the things that made me say, okay, it's time to go. So I used my sickness as one of the reasons, like, yo, you know I can't be traveling with you, and you know I can't be doing this, that, and the other. The doctor said I need to be in a stable place. I need to get a certain amount of sleep. I need certain type of food. So you were trying to pull away. I was trying to pull away. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was I found that they had an opening in Ciroc.
If you do something to Gene, you're going to have to deal with Chaz, you're going to have to deal with Slick, you're going to have to deal with Cage people, you're going to have to deal with a whole lot of people that love that name. And that's the politics of Harlem. Roger Barnes know the politics of Harlem. So you have a homo cats out there right now that's talking all that shit. Gene paid his dues. Because I came here and talked about the character of this dude who wanted me dead. I been knew that. He ain't saying nothing I didn't know. Y'all can find somebody else to play with. That goes to show you what kind of dude this is. Instead of coming to the table to say Big and Tupac, he said it. This is the kind of character that y'all out here saying, that y'all standing up for. People are still alive. Eric B, Big D, Suge Knight. They was gonna squash this East Coast, West Coast before Pac, before Big was dead. He wouldn't even send a representative to the table. Not a table that he ate off of. The table that he got his millions from is having his ass for dessert. No Diddy.
The bigger question many people are now asking is how many stories never get told because fear keeps people silent. For supporters of Gene Deal and Roger Bonds, this situation represents something much larger than a personal conflict involving Diddy. They see it as part of a broader conversation about power, influence, and accountability within the music industry. It raises difficult questions about whether influential figures have been able to use intimidation, loyalty, or fear to protect their reputations for years, and whether the culture around celebrity has sometimes discouraged people from speaking openly. As more former insiders come forward with their experiences and allegations, many observers believe the public is watching the gradual collapse of an image and legacy that once seemed untouchable.